as well. Yeah. Well, this is what we have planned for this week. Check it out. Chapter 6 is at the end. We have 3 days to finish. There are just a few topics, a few things we will work on chapter 6 today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we're going to have the review. As usual, we will work on a quiz with questions from the whole chapter 6. And a little secret here, just between us. And I'm going to say you, I tell the same thing over and over when you have a test. But remember, make sure you follow this review, you follow this meeting on Thursday, because the quiz we're going to work is very similar to the tests. The answers are going to be very similar, maybe a few numbers different, but even some answers are going to be the same. So make sure you are here, you are on the meeting, and pay attention, especially on Thursday. We will work on the quiz that will make you ready for the tests. I will try to make the test available on Wednesday evening together with the quiz. So you can have a couple of days to work on the tests, and you can make sure you finish by the due dates, so you can have the grade, you can have the extra credits, and you can start your spring break relaxed. Don't need to be worried about anything at all, okay? And then after that, spring break. Well, that's our plan. I'm gonna stick to the plan. I will try to make sure you also get the best opportunities this week to work on your grade. And now let's move to the lesson. Today's lesson, we're going to review real quick last Friday, because we worked on applications of addition and subtraction of radicals. And if you remember, we worked on calculating the perimeter of triangles and rectangles that have radicals as the length, as the side. Now, today we have a square. The sides of the square have the length square root of 2. All the sides are the same, right? Square root of 2. And my question is, what is the perimeter of this square? How can you calculate? We all know that perimeter, you're gonna add all the sides together. Is the sum of all the sides. That means, is the perimeter going to be letter A? Option A. If you sum all the sides, you're going to have square root of 8. Then you simplify square root of 8 equals 2 times square root of 2. Or option B, you sum all the sides, then you're going to find a square root of 16, and we know that square root of 16 equals to 4. Or the right answer is option C. You add all the sides, and then it's going to be equal to 4 times the square root of 2. Which one do you think is the right answer? And the right answer is letter C. You're going to add all together, you have 4 square roots of 2 is equal to 4 times square root of 2. Letter B is not the answer because it's not a multiplication. It's not multiplication. If it was multiplication, yes, this is right. But no, it's not multiplication, so this is wrong. And the same thing, letter A is wrong, is the wrong way of adding the square roots. The right answer is letter C. I'm just saying again to record, to have this later on the video, because now we will start the multiplication of radicals. Last week we studied the multiplication property of radicals. Remember, you can have this way, end root of A times B equals end root of A times end root of B. But sometimes you're going to use the other way around. sometimes you're going to use this, and root of A times and root of B equals and root of A times B. Okay? We will work on the quiz, on several examples, on several questions, and you're going to see that to simplify, to find the right answer, sometimes we will start doing this way, then we're going to finish doing that way. I think you will understand. When we read this and I try to explain by the definition, I think it's confusing. But let's work on examples, and I'm pretty sure you will start to understand. Okay? We have an example. Multiply. Let me write down. We have 3 square root of 11 times 2 plus square root of 11. Okay. On this situation, you have the first factor here has one term. The second factor have 2 terms. You need to remember and apply the distributive property. That's going to be the trick today. Remembering and applying distributive property, because you're going to multiply this term by the first one inside the parentheses and also by the second one inside the parentheses to find the final answer. Okay? So this is going to be equal 3 square root of 11 times what? Times 2. The first term. Plus, then you're going to multiply again. 3 square root of 11 times what? Times another square root of 11. That's it. You did the multiplication. Now let's simplify. We will apply multiplication property of radicals, and also let's check other things that we can simplify. On the first term, we will multiply the numbers, 3 times 2, and then we will find 3 times 2 equals 6. We're going to keep this square root of 11 that we cannot simplify, just keep it like that. Plus, now the second term, you have 3, and we can apply multiplication property. We can, this is a square root and another square root, we can put everything together under the same square root. 11 times 11 is 11 squares. Remember, this is possible to simplify. This is a square root, we can simplify. This is equals 6 square root of 11. Let me write here so you don't, all the steps, so you understand what you're doing. 3 times, and this is 11. The final answer is 6 square root of 11 plus 33. That is the final answer. So the trick to solve this kind of question is correctly apply distributive property at the beginning and then simplify each term that you find after the multiplication. Let me show the whole thing and zoom out a little bit. Tell me if you have questions, if you understand. And we have on the slides more examples. If you want, you can look at the examples, you can try to understand and make sense by yourself, and we have more examples here, but I will save time. Instead of working on those examples, I'm going to save time so we can work on our quiz, okay? Tell me if you have questions on this. If you don't have any questions, or if you want to save your questions for later, but better to ask as soon as you can. If you have anything in your mind, ask now. But if you want to save your questions for later, you can also ask during the quiz, because now I think the better option is to move on. Yes? You all agree? Let's move on And first, work on our bell work. Tell me what is the right answer. And we're gonna help Jason. He will paint this dirty wall, and he needs to know the area. He only knows it is a square and has the diagonal is 20 feet long. Can you find out the area? Tell me, can you calculate this area? Let's check your answers now. To find the answer, we're gonna apply the formula, the Pythagorean theorem is down here, see? Remember, a squared, let me write it down, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's the Pythagorean theorem because we have a right triangle. And check this, we have C, we have A, and we have B. A and B have the same length, let's call x. So A squared is x squared, B squared is going to be x squared as well. And C is 20, so C squared is 20 squared, right? Now simplify, because x squared plus x squared is 2 times x squared, and 20 squared is 400. 2x squared equals 400. But think about something. We need the area, right? And the area is base, the base is b, times height. The height is a, b times a. This is the area of the square. B is equals to x, a is equals to x as well. The area is x squared. This is the area of this rectangle, this square, I mean. This is the area of the square. And look, here, this is the area. That means 400 is 2 times the area. The area is equals, divide everything here by 2. 400 divided by 2, 200. The answer is 200 square feet. On forms, you just type the number 200, square feet is here. The answer is 200 square feet. Okay, Kion, you can ask a question. And now let's work on our quiz. Multiply and simplify the radical expressions. Let me show just a couple of questions here. The first letter A, you're going to have lots of questions like letter A on the test, because I think they are simple and is a straight application of the multiplication property of radicals. Check this out. You're going to put together, you have two square roots, so you put together everything under the same square root, and then you're going to multiply 3x times 12x. Okay? This is one way. The multiplication property, when you have two square roots, you can put together in just one. Now, check the numbers, multiply the numbers. 3 times 12, 36. Multiply the variables, we have x and x. X squared. And what you're going to do now? You're going to break down again, but now break down in a way that you can simplify. Square root of 36 times square root of x squared. Because the square root of 36 is 6, and the x squared, the square root is x. This is the right answer for letter A. Okay? So this is one kind of question that you're going to find on the test. Very easy application of the multiplication property of radicals. Another kind of question you're also going to find on your tests. Now you have a multiplication, and one of the factors have just one term, another factor have two terms. You need to use distributive property. Apply distributive property, and you're going to multiply 3 times the square root of 5 times the first term, 2 times the square root of 5, plus, and then 3 square root of 5 times second term, 4. Okay? 3 times 2, 6. Is square root of 5 times square root of 5. Square root of 5 is squared. Plus, and the second is 3 times 4, 12. And we don't have any other square root, just square root of 5. We can simplify this square root of the square. That means the answer is 6 times 5, 30, plus 12 square root of 5. That is the right answer for letter J. Okay, we have some questions on this quiz that are a bit harder, other questions that are kind of the same level, but on the test I think we will focus on this kind of questions. Not too hard, you just need to show your knowledge about multiplication property of radicals. Okay? Now give me 1 minute, I will check attendance and then we'll get back to work together. We have about 5 minutes to finish. Let me work on, and Jacob is asking B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, we finish M, letter M. Let's work on letter B. Oops. B is here. Let's work on C. Letter C. We have square root and square root. We can write this under the same square root. Just make this a long square root. And I'm going to put under the same square root all the radicals, everything that's inside each square root. B. Okay? Now work on the numbers. First, multiply the numbers. We have 5 times 20 is 100. Multiply the variable a. Everything that have variable a, they have the same base. A cubed times a cubed. A to the 6th, right? And we also have b. B times b cubed is b to the 4th. And I think we can simplify all the factors. Square root of 100 is 10. Right, square root of 100, 10. Is square root of a to the 6th. You're going to divide this by the index, so is a cubed. And the square root of b to the 4th, divide 4 by 2, 2, so b squared. The answer is this. Letter C. And you're asking about letter D. Letter D. We still have a few minutes. Yes, we have time. Those are cube roots, so we can put everything together under only one cube root. M squared n times 48 m to the 4th n. Okay. Now put together, and we're going to combine the numbers, multiply the numbers. You don't have a lot of numbers, just 48. So 48, and the variables m squared with m cubed, and the n you have m squared with m to the 4th, m to the 6th, and n is just n squared. Check it out. We can simplify this. Yes, we can, because we have a cube. We can divide. We cannot simplify this. And 48. 48. We need to split to be able to simplify. Try to find a cube that's 48. I think it's going to be 8 times 4, if I'm not wrong. 8 times 4. Oops. Get your calculator if you're not sure. 48 divided by 8, 6, sorry, 6. 6 times, 8 times 6, yes, my mistake. So 8 you can simplify, 8 you can break down, and 6 you cannot. See? So everything that's in green you can simplify. 8 cube root of 8 is 2. Cube root of m to the 6th is m squared. And what is in blue you cannot simplify. Square root of 6 n squared. That is the answer. Well, I think we have just 1 minute.